Time now to bring you the biggest stories across our national dailies. It's freshly pressed and Smooth 98.1. My name is Victor Purple. For the next 30 minutes, we'll be taking you through the different newspaper headlines that we have, trending at the moment. Joining me for the next 30 minutes with analysis for you is Mr. C. Good morning, Mr. C.
Good morning, Victor. Good morning, Lagos. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And Mr. C is here on a holiday. I don't know how it was for you over the weekend, the Salah celebration. Did the rain stop anything for you? Did you get the meat?
No, we still got the meat.
Oh, great, 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 great. Proper Lagosians, you know your way around it. Anyways, you can be part of the show sending messages across to us via our different platforms. WhatsApp is 0809 4440981. We're on Twitter at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag FreshlyPressed981. We're streaming live on YouTube. It's Smooth981FM Lagos. My name is Victor Pepple. We're getting straight into it. We begin this morning from Premium Times. 2023. Nigerians must place competence above religion and ethnicity. This is credited to the former governor of Lagos and the APC presidential flag bearer, Bola Tinubu. He said this on Sunday that Nigerians must choose competence and capacity ahead of ethnicity and religion in their choice of leaders in 2023. In a statement personally signed by him shortly after he announced Kashim Shettima as his running mate. By the way, Shettima is a serving senator. Despite the opposition from some quarters to a Muslim ticket, Tinubu said he chose Shettima because he believes he's the man who can bring the best governance to all Nigerians, period, regardless of their religious affiliation or considerations of ethnicity or region. Then comes the big question, Mr. C. Are we ready for a Muslim ticket? And what are the chances of the APC deciding to go with a Muslim ticket?
Okay, thank you, Victor. So, finally, we have the final lineup, the confirmed lineup for the three political parties. And Nigerians, we now know what to do. Interrogate the candidates, interrogate their policies, their plans, their manifestos, and then make a decision. Now, I agree with Bola Tinubu when he says that religion and ethnicity should not be a consideration when selecting leaders. Now, he's speaking to an ideal situation.
Mm.
However, Nigeria today is less than ideal. So, am I then saying we should consider religion and ethnicity? I'm not saying those should be the prime considerations. However, in our reality today, our collective reality today, these are considerations. But the overarching consideration must still remain competence, integrity, and willingness to do the job. It's one thing to have the ability, it's another thing to have the willingness or the desire to do it.
Mm.
Now, Senator Tinubu has selected a seventh senator who incidentally is a former two-term governor in Borno State.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gone for someone who's comfortable with the policymaking end of business. Now, Senator Shettima, as I just said, was an executive governor, and now he's a senator. So he's gotten experience from the executive side of governance, and he's currently getting experience from the legislative part. Now, can these two men transform Nigeria? That is a very big question that remains to be answered. Now, one drawback for both of them would be the fact that they belong to the ruling party. And in the past 7 years, Nigerians collectively have seen a deterioration in their collective fortunes and well-being. Inflation has literally almost doubled from about 9.01% to about 17.71%.
Mm.
And the 9.01% was in 2015. The prices of almost all the relevant goods and services have also increased at least about 90 to 100%. So what will form the basis of their campaign? Because Tinubu says he wants to make Nigeria a better place. The question is, your party was in power for 7 years, controlled both the executive and the legislative arms at a federal level, and you didn't get anything done. Yes, people will point to infrastructure, but guess what? Almost all the projects they hold for are projects that were started by the previous administration. I'm yet to find a project that this current administration initiated, developed, and completed. So, again, to end the story, the key considerations should be competence, integrity, and willingness to do the jobs. Now, anyone who has question marks around his origin, his certificates, look, listen, we're over at least 100 million, conservatively. Can we not find Nigerians who do not have issues with their certificates, who do not have issues surrounding them as individuals, so that we do not detract from the business of government?
Still looking at this very subject of discussion, which would generate a lot of controversy getting into the campaigns. The argument for, I mean, by some Nigerians would be President Buhari is a northern Muslim. He served over 7 years. By next year, will be 8 years in power, completing his 2 terms, as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The PDP fielded a northern Muslim, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. The APC zoned it to the south. Apparently, Bola Tinubu picked the ticket, and he's a southern Muslim. That conversation is on with regards, religion at this time. The Labour Party, yes, looks like it's a southern Christian. Now, a lot of people had said, okay, well, if we're going to accept, a southern Muslim, expected should be perhaps a Christian from the north. But there were a lot of, arguments around which person would be the best running mate for the APC flag bearer, Bola Tinubu. Could it be a Christian from the north? Which Christian from the north can pull the votes for him? And finally, it looks like the APC will be going with a Muslim from the north. So it's a Muslim ticket. What then would the southern supporters do? Looking at this particular arrangement of the APC.
Okay, so Victor, I agree with you that because of the way Nigeria is currently fractured, it would have been advisable for the APC to have picked a non-Muslim vice presidential running mate. However, they haven't done that, and I believe they've done their calculations, they've strategized, and they believe that is the best way to win a ticket, because we must remember one thing. Political parties contest elections to win, at least the major ones. The minor ones are trying to build traction, but the major ones go in to win. Now, for Nigerians, they now need to decide, are they comfortable with a Muslim ticket for the next 4 years at the very least, or 8 years at maximum? They need to make that decision, and the decision lies in their hands. So people, get your PVCs. For those who've registered online, ensure you follow up with INEC. Wait and collect your PVCs. It's important you get them, and on election day, you decide.
Have we also? Yes, I've seen that we're getting gradually to that point where we begin to have these conversations. Muslim ticket. Do you also think that a Christian ticket will get a lot of votes if it ever does happen?
So first things first, I'm not sure the way Nigeria is currently configured, especially with the major parties. It's unlikely for now to find a Christian ticket.
Let's keep it going. So much questions asked on this very subject, but hey, let's take it to Premium Times again. Looking at another headline, despite INEC's stance, Akpabio will be elected senator in 2023. APC insists. And the All Progressives Congress in Akwa Ibom State has insisted that the name of the embattled former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, will be published by INEC as the party's candidate for the Akwa Ibom Northwest District. Iniobong John, chairman of the APC Media Committee in the state, made the position of the party known in a statement in Uyo on Saturday. And in his words, and I quote, "There's absolutely no cause for alarm. Nothing to worry about. We are assured that Mr. Akpabio will be elected for Ikotekbene no matter what happens." And INEC had, a position on this particular election in Akwa Ibom State. But the APC in the state is still insisting, no matter what INEC does, Akpabio is our choice for Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District. What's your reaction to this?
Okay, thank you. Very quickly, Victor. In May 2022, this year, senatorial primaries were conducted all over the country by political parties. Senator Akpabio did not contest during those primaries because then he had this illusion that he was running for the office of president. Now, the primaries for the presidential office held a month later, in
Mm.
June.
Mm.
A day after he stepped down at the APC presidential primaries, he organizes a phantom primary and he's declared the winner. Now, the only problem with that is INEC officials attended and supervised the primaries held in May. No INEC official was present at his primary in June. And when the deadline elapsed, his name was not on the INEC website, despite the fact that the APC chapter in Akwa Ibom submitted his name. And INEC has clearly explained that as far as it's concerned, Senator Akpabio is not a candidate for that senatorial election next year. And this is the same fate that also affects the current Senate president.
Mm.
They've been advised to go to court if they feel that they've been disenfranchised. So far, we haven't gotten any reports that they've actually headed to court. But as it stands, as far as the electoral umpire is concerned, they're not candidates. So all these media statements are neither here nor there until you get a court order proclaiming or declaring that he can contest the election. The status quo will remain, and the status quo is that he's not a candidate.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. C, for that. We keep it going. More train attack hostages freed in Nigeria, according to a negotiator. It's in from the Guardian newspaper. Gunmen who attacked a train in northwest Nigeria, Kaduna State, in March have released 7 more hostages following talks, the negotiator said on Sunday. Now, gangs of bandits with no ideological or religious motives are known to kidnap for ransom in northwest and central Nigeria. Tukomamu, who's not affiliated with the government but negotiated the release of the hostages, said the group, which included 6 men and a woman, were freed on Saturday as they required urgent medical attention. Now, this is coming just days after the Kuje invasion. And I hear that some of the leaders of these bandits of Boko Haram, if you may, were housed at that particular Kuje Medium Correctional Center. Now, a few days after that invasion at Kuje, we're also seeing an exchange. Some of the hostages. Is there a link, really?
Okay, so let's start. Let's journey back in time.
Okay. Okay.
On the 28th of March, armed men blew up a train traveling between Abuja and Kaduna and kidnapped an unidentified number of hostages,
Mm.
right? Now, subsequently, we discovered that it was Ansaro, a breakaway faction of Boko Haram. Ansaro broke away from Boko Haram circa 2002. Now, after abducting these hostages, they didn't ask for any ransom, but they requested that certain members of theirs who had been arrested and were in jail should be released.
Mm.
Now, 8 children of these Boko Haram of these Ansari terrorists were released to them in the prisoner exchange program, and 11 hostages were initially released. Now 7 more have been released, and it's just coincidental that it happens after the Kuji attack, where Ansaru commanders that had been held were released forcefully with other prisoners. Now it begs the question: the abductors had been consistent in their demands: free our people. Now the Kuji attack is baffling because the federal government, through its interior minister, says it does not understand how the attack took place. And there's so many question marks around that invasion, that armed attack. But then we have 7 more people being freed. I'm sure this is very good news to their loved ones, to their families. But the bigger question remains: there's still 44 people in captivity since the 28th of March. What is the federal government doing about this? Because so far it appears that the 18 that have been released in spite of the federal government's seeming lethargy or inability to meet the demands of the terrorists.
Mm.
Now, it shows that only one method will not work. We need to embrace all the methods and options open to us. Clearly, these terrorists trust the media aid of Sheikh Gumi And he continues to maintain that, even though they've been misled by wrong teachings, that they're approachable and they will listen. If force is not getting the solution required, how about using softer methods that will get the required solution? So this is something the government needs to seriously sit down and consider. Speak with these guys and find out what it is they want within the ambits of the law. Once it is legal, it's lawful, give it to them. Because we mustn't divorce the fact that economic fortunes also play a part.
Mhm.
These guys do not have money. There's frustration and depression in the land, and they need to find a way to survive. So the government should reach out, explore all options open before it to ensure that these 44 captives and every other captive still in captivity is released, especially Leah Sharibu.
Thank you very much, Mr. C. We'll do for a break. When we do come back, we'll head straight to your messages on our WhatsApp platform. Stay with us.
Is about soul healing vibes that transcend you with lyrical grooves, lifting you
God
into
help us in
love
this
as you
country.
flow through.
So after the prison break,
Like
boom.
my music,
Next
its
thing we're hearing
frequency,
is, oh, he said after the
love music,
invasion,
love life.
the next thing is that,
You're
oh, they've
listening
released like
to
seven
my
people.
muse.
What does that tell you?
To understand Nigeria, you need to appreciate where it came from.
Yeah, well, we're not
Federation
okay.
of Nigeria
There are so
became
many things we
independent
can
and
say.
assumed the rights and the responsibilities of a sovereign
They
state.
allowed this
One
thing to
nation
happen
under the
so that
oath
they
of
can say, okay,
democracy,
the
for
people have gone
unity
now.
and
Yeah.
peace, to be faithful and loyal.
So release the people.
Nigeria is divided into
Nigeria.
four regions: the West,
I-
Midwest, East, and North.
How did this melting pot of diverse people become one nation?
We're going to talk about democracy by the people, to the people, for the people. Now, listen. My society is underdeveloping because of an alien system on our people.
Let's talk politics and the state of the nation.
So much corruption, commotion.
Talk politics, brand new on Smooth 98.1, now every Thursday from 11 a.m.
So let's establish a simple truth. The British didn't travel halfway across the world just to spread democracy. Nigeria started off as a business deal for them between a company and a government.
This is Smooth Breakfast.
The smooth breakfast.
The Smooth Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to Freshly Pressed on Smooth 98.1. We're getting over to WhatsApp to take your messages at this time. Very quickly, we'll take this one in from Austin. Austin says, good morning. Tinubu said that Nigerians should look beyond religion. My question is Tinubu competent? We'll have seen where the country is drifting in terms of religion. Some people believe that this country belongs to them. Message in from Austin. Olatunde Akinwumi says, the choice of Shetima as vice president is a masterstroke. The northern votes will decide the president come 2023. I challenge you guys, give me a name. Just one name from the north who is a Christian and who has the gravitas to wrestle the northern votes from Atiku. Just one name. Tunde Akinwumi from Ojodu is the one challenging that to produce a name. Anyways, Jerry says, please, if you must not consider the Muslim ticket, should we not also consider that Shetima was also fingered for being a Boko Haram sponsor? They just called the bluff of Christians, telling them their votes are inconsequential. That's according to Jerry. Chika sends a message across to us. This is, okay, yes, I see Chika's message now. Chika from Amuwo Dolphin. What is going on with the messages today? Okay, we see that some of the messages are still coming in. Just a moment and we'll get back to Chika. Says, the call by Tinubu for Nigerians to jettison religion and ethnicity to vote for competence is quite laughable. So what it means is that in the entire northern Nigeria, there's no one competent to be his vice. I tell you what, in 1993, MK Abiola, a Yoruba man, picked his running mate from northeast of Borno, and we all know how it ended. Going into 2023, BAT, a Yoruba man, has chosen a northeastern Nigerian from Borno State as his running mate. We await the outcome come February 2023. Quickly, Femi from Surulere says, Buhari Oshibajo, Muslim Christian ticket for 7 years so far. Has the economy improved? Has the security situation been okay? Your religion is not a function of your competence. Question should be, can Tinubu Shetima deliver? We wait and see. Kunle from Ikotun says the excuse of competence and integrity advanced by APC presidential candidate is not a good argument for flying Muslim ticket. Time will definitely show who is right, despite the seeming confidence of victory by the major parties, despite these abnormalities. And we have this other one from Anti Talks. I have my reservations about who and who gets the PVC. Are they all Nigerian citizens? Northern Nigeria is flooded with Nigerians and Chadians for one purpose, to infiltrate the votes in that area. How do we ensure only true Nigerians get the PVC? Nigeria can't free herself from terrorists, but terrorists can release their inmates from Nigerian prison. One last one, and we get back to the stories again. Idima Puza from Surulere says, Nigeria is a secular nation. I know Tinubu loves Christians, but he is ill-advised to go for a Muslim ticket at a time there is mistrust in religion in Nigeria. Does it mean there are no northern Nigerian Christians available for him? Christians in Nigeria may vote against him in protest. Well, fingers crossed. Let's see how it pans out, especially during the campaigns. But keeping things going here on the show quickly. Federal High Court okays virtual hearing of cases, service of hearing notice by email. You're a lawyer, okay.
So very quickly, the Federal High Court has released new practice directions streamlining the conduct of election matters, pre-election matters. And they've sought to cut out all the delays and tricks lawyers put. So to summarize the new practice directions, not more than 2 adjournments for either party to the case. And then the time has been shortened for filing your originating summons, for replying to your originating summons, and even amending your originating summons. And even if you try to change your counsel during proceedings, you don't get more than two adjournments. So this is designed specifically to ensure that pre-election matters can be concluded safely before the conduct of the election, so that there's no ambiguity, no uncertainty as to who the candidates are.
Daily Post, strike. Tertiary education may collapse under Buhari. Health workers warn. In fact, in addition to that, from the Vanguard newspaper, will shut down power sector if NLC declares action. Electricity workers.
So it speaks volumes of the government's negligence in attending to critical matters. ASU has been on strike for close to 5 months, and seemingly nothing has been done about it. Now the other trade unions, under the auspices of Nigeria Labour Congress, are now threatening to go on a solidarity strike. Now you would ask, what exactly is ASU looking for? ASU is looking for only 200 billion. Even with Nigeria's abject financial state today, that money can be gotten. It's just that the powers that be do not consider education to be a priority. And it's so sad because they would always mouth off at every public opportunity they get how they want to develop Nigeria and take it to the next level. You will not take any country to any level without education. And every day, the Nigerians who are leaving the country, the brain drain is shocking, Victor. The big 4 accounting firms have lost at least 70% of their guys because they're all emigrating. Students now are looking for schools outside Nigeria, and once they leave, they're not coming back. To check the significance of the strikes on Nigerian students, you need to check how much is being sourced officially at the CBN under Form A, which they now want to stop. Form A is the window through which you can get forex to pay your school fees as a student. Now, the CBN is determined to stop that. Now, what is the point in starting school in Nigeria if you do not know when you're going to finish? And if there is a strike and the electricity workers join them, can you imagine the chaos? We are in the midst of a petrol scarcity that isn't going anywhere. Diesel is at an all-time high price, and then the electricity sector workers down tools. This is a recipe for chaos, but it only happens happens in Nigeria.
Isn't it a shame to the government of the day at the federal that ASU went on strike for 8 months in 2020, and then in 2022, 14th of February, they went on another strike, warning strike, and were still on strike 11th of July.
So, Victor, clearly they have no shame. Because if they did, there would not be a strike so soon after the last one. And it shows again that their children don't school here, so it doesn't affect them.
Well, let's squeeze these two in before we go. From this day newspaper, NEMA recovers 13 more bodies from Lagos boat accident. Sadly, we send our condolences to family members. But also in from the Punch newspaper, flooding, some will lose aid, apologizes to Lagosians. That's the special advisor on drainage and water resources to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Joy Bukwe. He wrote an apology, open apology to Lagosians over the flood that ravaged the state on Saturday after a heavy downpour, causing loss of property amongst others.
Okay, so very quickly, the first story. Our thoughts go out to the families of the 13 deceased individuals. But the story does indicate that it was an illegal boat trip after regulated hours, and they had no lifeboats. So this is a call on NEMA and the respective Lagos State agency to do more surveillance, more supervision in that sector to ensure that there are no more needless deaths. Now, to the special advisor, I'm sorry, we don't need your apology. Can you just resign? Because clearly you were engaged to do a job. Clearly you haven't done it. Clearly you lack the competence to do it. All these stories about Lagos being a coastal city, for the love of everything good, is Lagos the only coastal city in the world? Why do other coastal cities not have the repeated patterns of flooding that Lagos always has? Every single year. I've been in Lagos at least 40 plus years. It is an annual feature, Victor. And next year, we're still going to experience flooding.
Really sad.
There is, and then he says people have built on canals, people have built on wetlands, people have built on storm drains. Excuse me, who let them build there? Why are you in power if you cannot regulate and enforce your own laws? So enough of the storytelling, enough of the buck passing. Can you just resign? If he doesn't resign, can he be sacked?
Well, he even mentioned Nigeria is about, there are about 23 million Nigerians in Lagos. I'm really surprised
What's the
where we get
relevance of that information?
the figures too. We've not had census since 2006. How do we even know the accurate number of persons in
Victor,
Lagos? 23 million?
Even if we have 23 million people, what is the relevance of that information? Have you done what you're supposed to do? Have you enforced your own laws? Have you dealt with recalcitrant developers who have built in the wrong places? You haven't done any of that. You're telling us population of Lagos. Are you a census official?
On a lighter note, I didn't even know that Joy Bukwe is an essay to the Lagos State Governor on drainage and water resources. I only read about him, some comments on Twitter and all that, but it's okay. Congratulations. Well, should I say congratulations? I don't know how long for he's been an essay to the governor, but let's look at this last message before we go. We really need to place competence above ethnicity and religion, just like the Buhari-led administration. Nothing where Musa no go see forget. Iche is the one who sent that message in. Well, thanks to everyone who sent a message across to us today. Let's do this again tomorrow at 7:30. My name is Victor Pepple. Thank you, Mr. C, for being a part of the show today. A message just came in, but we need to go. Thank you very much. We'll bring you Locker Room at 8:15. Good morning.
The headlines, the stories,
thank you, everybody.
Gracias.
in-depth analysis.
This is an autopilot. I don't think that we have someone